Greetings and welcome back to Friedland once again. I am your host as always. Let us see what has happened over the turn. I know for one thing I'm not going to have reinforcements. As well. My reinforcements still won't arrive for hours. Hello, hello, hussars. I see some hussars over there. Some Cossacks. I think it might be time I did something aggressive. I might use my light cavalry up here. So the 4th Hussars, the 2nd Hussars, and the 5th Chasseurs to try and drive off these Cossacks. If we zoom in here, they're nicely spread out, doing cavalry duties. My biggest concern would be infantry coming through here, which is part of the reason why I'm like pushing forward. My various elements. Here comes some more of them. The Manu Road. I suspect they're going to combine into a full battalion and form square. Makes sense. We have skimpered on his plans a little bit, given the fact that he is going to have to deal with the fact that there's a bunch of cavalry about. So we're partially interrupting his plans, if nothing else. Here comes more skirmishers. Here they all come. Alright, he's moving his guns up. And some cavalry as well. I know for a fact that he's going to probably place those guns along here and then have infantry down here so they can shoot over. So, probably going to be getting a hard pounding. 30 defenders. Oof, 2 units routed, one of which lost stragglers. Which would be that one. Holy hell. There's only 1 man left. Well, that's a little awkward. What can I do? I can either go there and then get assaulted in the face. I can change formation, but that's not really going to do a lot. We'll come back to them, actually. Unlimber the horse guns. You go there. Roofing. Form line. Okay. Dutch Hussar artillery. Let's hit those hussars. And we'll deal with them in a second. Let's continue getting you that way. Alright, they're in square now, so... they continue to fall back. Oudinot. Let's get you there, so you're in position. Cohorn. Let's do... we'll place Cohorn's brigade where it is now, but also along here. Artillery à cheval. Let us hit those guns. Didn't do anything, but it might have. Which is the big thing. It might have done something. Let's get you that way. You can go there. We'll come back to them in again in a minute. You will fall back. You will fall back that way. You're there. Fall back. Fall back. I can't charge them because they're in square. What about artillery? Saxon foot artillery can see what? They can just see skirmishers for the moment, but better than shooting at nothing. Again, we'll do them in a second. These these horse guns. Why can't they not facing? Okay. Now it is. Blast that square. You didn't do a lot, but hey. You let them know you were there. Get the Dutch cuirassier out of the way, along with those last dragoons. What can you see? You can see them, but it looks like you can't actually shoot at them because why? Not facing, apparently. Yeah, that would make sense. He's facing more this direction. Verdier. With General Verdier now arrived. Now that Verdier's arrived, I'm going to make use of him like crazy. No two ways about it. I am going to need him, and I'm going to use him. What can we do here? We can fall back 2. Will likely get disrupted and then assaulted from multiple directions. That's the issue. So let's say we go there. They can't really go round me that side. They can't really go round me that side. Yeah, we'll do that. It's not a lot, but we'll pour the fire into them. Because the skirmishers will generally help hold their position. And in the meantime, the dragoons will do dragoon things. So yeah, as soon as I can, I'm going to recombine these boys into a full battalion as much as possible. Try and get them undisordered and reordered as much as possible. Let us place these guns here. Well, not this turn, but next turn then. They'll can help control this chunk of ground. And they'll have a clear line of fire as well, since I have no troops there. Alright, that's 5 companies, 6 companies. Okay, that's most of them. Verdier's artillery. And the Corps' artillery. Well, just that's all Verdier's artillery. Dombrowski. Whoops. Whoopsies. I've caused a traffic jam. Alright, up here, what can we do? Still, with Mortier in his position, he's commanding effectively. We'll soon have one of the big things will be the arrival of Marshal Bessières and Napoleon. Who is the first sort of big, very useful chunk of troops I can get? La Tour Marbourg, who will arrive from the south at 10:50. So, in about an hour, I'll get a bunch of dragoons from the south, which might help hold and stabilise this situation a bit. Which will also allow me to work on other things. Alright, the dragoons will ride away and shift location ever so slightly. General Millet. Alright, let's form out Tylerman's heavy cavalry. Tylerman and his heavy cavalry will form. We're going to form Tylerman and his heavy cavalry in an echelon formation for the moment. That will also buy time for Verdier to get into position. So if the Russians want to push forward, they're going to do so under a heavy cavalry charge. Now, the question is, what do I want to do here? Do I go... I think I do in this case. Whoa! Hello there! That's a lot of huzzas in my face. Which is not necessarily what I wished. And then you can go there. I do have one other option. I detach these lot and send them this way. And reinforce my cavalry on this side. What is it? It's the 3rd Hussars, the 10th Chasseurs and the 15th Chasseurs. Which isn't a bad chunk of troops. Once Dombrowski arrives, I'm actually going to redeploy the heavy cavalry and Grouchy himself. They will all head up here to Stockheim and Lichtenfeld. Because, for one, I want them to be a screen for the arrival of troops. Because I'm thinking of sending Marshal Victor up here when the time comes. So what are the... I've lost about 1,200 men so far. So, a little unfortunate. But we should hopefully be able to stabilise this a little bit. Little unfortunate that that company has been reduced to 1 man, but 1 man, I suppose, is 1 man. Who else have we got? these will all come back together and reform over here. So yeah, it's just a case of getting them out of the way while we can. And then when the time comes, he's going to advance straight into Mottier's corps. So far, with Mottier, he can only see the skirmishers and 2 battalions. And then he can see all these troops up here. He can't actually see the vast majority of... Well, he can't see these 2 battalions, the 15th line, which may give me an advantage, because he may come charging at them, not realising they're there, and blunder straight into them. And get shot in the face for his trouble. Still, something to consider. Which way are they facing? They're facing this way, so they can charge this lot. You know what? I'm actually going to fall back ever so slightly with the cavalry. And reface. That way, if they come charging here, they are likely to get themselves surrounded by other hussars. No leaders lost so far. So it's just a case of how many men we can take from them as we wait for Ney. Because the Saxons, for example, holding the village, hopefully, should at least put a scamper on any Russian plans there, especially while Conroy's brigade redeploys and reshifts. So, Marburg arrives at 10:50. So, in an hour and 10 minutes, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Marshal Bessières arrives in what? An hour and 40 minutes, I believe. Yeah, in about an hour and 40 minutes, Bessières arrives. An hour and 50 minutes, Napoleon will arrive. And then the first elements of the guard will arrive with Napoleon at the same time. I need you, Ney. Who's that? 20th Dragoons. They belong. Okay, all of that belongs to Latour Marbourg's chunk of troops. Who else can arrive from? Who else arrives from down there? These boys. 20th, 22nd, and 7th Chasseurs. Still, once Ney arrives, Marchand and his division are to rush like bat crazies into the fight. No ifs, buts, or maybes, and no attempts to be fancy. That's the big thing. No being fancy. still, it's been a bit more of an interesting... It's been a very interesting battle so far. I've never fought Friedland before in these games. For one, I haven't had the game Allow Friedland for long. But this is a very interesting battle from the French perspective. And even from the Russian perspective, because the fact is you've got to try and crush the French quickly. Before they can get too much on the field. So while he has inflicted more losses on me, all things considered, they are acceptable losses, considering the alternative. But for now, I think that's going to be it. So, I thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribing. It all helps. And tell me in the comments how I can improve these series. As I do know I have a tendency to mumble or go silent every now and then while I'm thinking. But I thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you with the next part. So, until next time, cheerio and bye-bye for now.